Blue skies overhead, just the lightest of a breeze blowing in. Really not a factor. But again, because it's so, should we say, non-prevalent for this time of the year to be blowing in, it just keeps things almost ideal downtown temperature-wise. And the Indians will try to bounce back after their 20-game winning streak over Detroit was snapped last night in stunning fashion. The Tigers roared back from a 5-0 deficit. The Indians coming in are 16-10 in the tightly bunched AL Central. That puts the Indians in second place, a half game behind Minnesota. The White Sox are only a half game in back of the Indians at 16-11. Detroit buried in the cellar with Kansas City. The Tigers 10-14, 5.5 games back. The umpiring crew here for tonight's ball game. It'll be Lance Barksdale behind the plate. Alex Tosi will make the calls at first. David Rackley at second. Chris Conroy at third. 325 down the lines. It is 375 to right center, 370 to left center, 400 to dead center. 9-foot wall from right field to center field, and then the rest of the way from center field to the left field corner, the 19-foot wall. Triston McKenzie makes his long-awaited Major League debut. Long-awaited because when the Indians drafted him in 2015, they looked at him as a potential ace down the road, and he's been hurt, and that's really slowed his development. Literally, he hasn't pitched in a ball game in 2 years. It's August of 2018, the last time he actually pitched in a professional game. You can count the simulated games if you want in Lake County, but that's not the same as a minor league game at whatever level, to say nothing else about the big leagues. So Triston McKenzie gets the start tonight, and at most he'll probably go 80 to 85 pitches. He made 85 pitches, the top amount in a sim game in Lake County. But again, that's not 85 pitches in a Major League game. And the Indians will be very careful with him because he is a guy that still has a chance to be a star. He is a young man, just a terrific personality, and it should be fun to watch tonight. McKenzie, 6'5", but only 165. Unlike most of us, he has trouble keeping weight on. He is 23 years of age. He's got a mid-90s fastball, outstanding 12-6 curveball and changeup, and this year he's dabbled with a slider. Victor Reyes, switch hitter who had a 2-big home run and a 2-hit game last night, will lead it off. Switch hitter batting left-handed in right field. McKenzie, the wind, and his first Major League pitch, and it's in there, a called strike, and we're underway at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario with a game-time temperature here tonight of 81 degrees. McKenzie works third base side of the rubber, and the pitch. And Reyes swings and misses at the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count is quickly 0-2. McKenzie just has the ball explode out of his hand. He's got that real easy delivery. Here it comes, and it's swung on, fouled upstairs, and that was 96 miles an hour. Triston McKenzie, long and lean, and he has such long arms. Unofficially, a wingspan of 80 inches. Feet close together as he rocks and fires, and Reyes swings and fouls it upstairs, and it's all heat right now from Triston McKenzie. Because of that wingspan and the fact that he's 6'5", manager Sandy Alomar says his release point is much closer to the plate than a lot of guys. The next pitch swung on a rolled over changeup, headed to the second baseman, and Cesar Hernandez throws out Reyes. So after nothing but fastballs, a changeup had Reyes way out in front, and Triston McKenzie has retired the first Major League batter he has faced. And here's Willie Castro. They were former minor league teammates. Castro, switch hitter at short tonight, batting left-handed. Tigers have 4 left-handed bats in the lineup. No score, just underway on a gorgeous Saturday night in Cleveland. The wind, the pitch, and it swung on, foul back, went right back to the heat, strike one. McKenzie did not pitch at all last year. In spring training, he strained his rotator cuff. And then when it looked like the cuff had healed, the 0-1, swing and a miss, good changeup again. And his changeup, 87 miles an hour, so anywhere from 8 to 10 miles an hour difference between the fastball and changeup. That's great separation. And he's ahead in the count. He is just pounding the strike zone. The 0-2 swung on, looped foul, third base side. Will do it again at 0-2. So after the rotator cuff healed last year, then he strained his pectoral muscle. So he never pitched in a ball game in 2019. Lost an entire year of development. Now the 0-2, and it's down and in. First curveball we've seen from him, and he has a good curveball. His fastball is his best pitch. His curveball with that 12-6 action is his second best pitch. Changeup third best, and still working on the slider. Now the wind and the 1-2, and it's swung on, tapped back to the mound. Another good changeup. Castro running to first, underhand flip, and 2 up, 2 down in his Major League debut. The Indians have Jordan Luplow in left, Delino DeShields in center, and Domingo Santana in right. On the infield, Carlos Santana at first, Cesar Hernandez at second, Frankie Lindor's at short, the third baseman Jose Ramirez, and Roberto Perez catching the rookie. 2 down, and Miguel Cabrera at the plate. Righty-righty matchup, the pitch. And it's swung on, foul back, strike one. Came at him again with that mid-90s fastball. What's really impressive, Tristan McKenzie has made 11 pitches here in his Major League debut, 10 strikes. Cabrera is deep in the box as you can be, close to home plate, square stance. McKenzie, the wind and the pitch. And it swung on and missed. Another good heater. 0-2. He's just got a very slow, deliberate windup, and the ball just explodes coming out of his hand. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a slider. And Miguel Cabrera gets a first-hand look at what the Indians hope is another future. Well, the Indians will face the veteran Matthew Boyd. The left-hander having a tough year. No score, bottom of the first. Boyd, 29 years of age, 6'3", 234. Kicks, fires, and Cesar Hernandez, batting right-handed, takes a strike. The Tigers feel that Matthew Boyd has gotten way too predictable. Here's the windup and the 0-1 pitch. And it's swung on, bang towards short. Hip-high hop, handled on a backhand by Castro, who guns it over, and the shortstop retires Hernandez. 1 down for Jose Ramirez. Matthew Boyd, primarily fastball slider, but he also has a good curveball and a changeup. And pitching coach Rick Anderson said in his last start, look, you got to start throwing his changeup. This is ridiculous. It's all fastballs and sliders, and you need to mix up some changes and curves. Jose Ramirez taking a high fastball. They also feel like that changeup, when you throw it correctly, helps you finish pitches, and that can help you finish your other pitches. The next delivery is swung on, rolled toward short. Another easy play for Castro. Has got a cannon. High throw, but a slap tag by Candelario as he came down to get Ramirez. And Jose Ramirez is hitless in his last 20 at-bats. But he is playing with a sore thumb. Kristen Stewart's in left, Jacoby Jones in center, Victor Reyes in right. Jamer Candelario is at first, Jonathan Scope at second, Willie Castro at short, Isaac Paredes at third, and Austin Romine, the veteran catcher. Well, Matthew Boyd, 4 pitches, 2 outs. No score, first inning. Here's Frankie Lindor batting right-handed. Boyd, the wind and the pitch. Lindor takes. It's a slider strike. Boyd is 0-3 this year with a .964 ERA. This is his 6th start. He's only going 5 innings a start. He's averaging 10 strikeouts, 4 walks per 9 innings, but he's giving up 13 hits per 9 innings. Teams are batting .333 against Boyd. There's a strike on the outside corner. He went with a curveball. Boyd's also been hurt by 8 home runs, and he made history with a gopher ball recently. The pitch, swing, and a foul tip, as Frankie Lindor just barely got a piece of it. And the count 0-2 in this scoreless first. In back-to-back games against Chicago, he gave up back-to-back home runs to start each game. That's never happened in baseball before. The 0-2. A swing and a shot to left. Down the line it goes, and it's a fair ball. Hit on the line, ricochets into the corner. Lindor on his way to second, in standing with a double. Francisco Lindor yanked one into that left field corner for his 6th double of the year. And the Indians have a 2-out base runner, no score in the first. But think of that. You're facing the same team in back-to-back starts, and Boyd in those back-to-back starts gave up back-to-back homers to the first 2 hitters in each game. Never in the history of baseball has that happened to a pitcher to the same team. And he does it in back-to-back starts. And that's when Rick Anderson said, you need to start listening. You need to start throwing your changeup and curveball. Here's Carlos Santana, another switch hitter batting right-handed. The pitch to Santana, and it's a strike, outside corner fastball. All right-handed hitting lineup tonight, since the Indians' first 4 batters are switch hitters. No shift, infield pull to the left, but 2 on each side of the diamond. Outfield, around toward left, medium deep. Boyd checks second, comes to the plate, and a swing and a miss. There's that changeup. And if you're ever going to throw changeups, the Indians are the team to throw them against as the count goes to 0-2.
Boy, we've seen it all year, Tom. Even pitchers without good breaking stuff, if they have that fastball change combo, they've really given the Indians offense a hard time.
Now, the Indians have not been able to make an adjustment all year to pitchers throwing changeups. Remarkable. Lindor, good lead at second. Boyd looks that way, comes to the plate, and he's down and in, and the ball hits Santana or just goes to the backstop. Santana lifted that back foot on the slider, and the way Romine acted, he thought it had hit Santana. Goes to the backstop for a wild pitch, but Santana did not get hit by the pitch. Well, if you're Matthew Boyd and you're walking 4 and giving up 13 hits per 9 innings, that's 17 base runners in a game. In other words, 2 base runners per inning. That's why his ERA is .964. Lindor's at third, 2 down in the first, no score. Santana awaits the 1-2. Here it comes. And it's a slider down low, and the count 2-2. One of the things that Matthew Boyd also worked on in the offseason, they've got the new contraption where pitchers are able to check out their spin rate, try to work on creating more spin, which makes you more effective. Now the 2-2 pitch, and it's a high fastball, full count. Matthew Boyd said, look, that machine helped me get my good slider, but he was trying to make it even better to the point that it became detrimental. And he hasn't had as good a slider as a year ago. Sometimes what you have is good enough. But there was a case where Matthew Boyd was just trying to get better. And it's been a tough season. Now the payoff pitch to Santana. A swing and a foul tip. Hung a slider there. Santana's follow-through conked Austin Romine, who is shaken up. Santana checking on the catcher, who's been such a terrific addition to the Tiger Ball Club, former Yankee, and Santana's follow-through. And the barrel of the bat hit Romine on the top of the head. And you may be wearing a batting helmet, but that doesn't mean you still can't be injured, and so the Tigers trainer and manager Ron Gardenhire quickly out of that first base dugout. They check on him, and Romine's one of those guys. The only way you'll get him off the field is if you carry him off. He's finally an everyday catcher, something he always wanted, and the Tigers are the beneficiaries of that. Great sign by Detroit. Lindor still at third, 2 down in the first, no score. Santana awaiting the payoff pitch. And here it comes. And it's swung on, fouled upstairs. Will do it again at 3-2. Well, if the Tigers are going to stay around 500, and folks, if you're a 500 ball club this year, you've got a chance to make postseason. Matthew Boyd's got to turn his season around. That's a must. The payoff pitch. And it's swung on, bounced wide of third. Gloved by Paredes, reaching to his left, guns it over. Boy, I tell you what, between Paredes and Castro, 2 guys for the Detroit Tigers. As we go to the second inning, Cleveland, Detroit, no score, and Jonathan Schoop, who had the big game last night, takes a slider low and away, ball 1 from Tristan McKenzie. McKenzie had a 13-pitch first inning in his Major League debut. The pitch, down and away, ball 2. He went with a slider again. Schoop had a homer and 4 base hits last night, and over the last 10 games hitting .368. Right-handed hitting second baseman. The 2-0 pitch, and it's a fastball in, 3-0. Tristan McKenzie. Told you how he missed all of last year. Then he missed 2 months the year before. The pitch. There's a fastball strike, 3-1. In 2018, he was having a tremendous year with Akron. And then he was out 2 months with a forearm strain. Now the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a foul back. Got the fastball in on him. Full count. So you're a young, developing pitcher, and you missed 2 months in 2018 and all of last year. That's a big blow to trying to get you ready for the big leagues. The payoff pitch. A swing and a miss. Fastball got him. So from a 3-0 count to a strikeout for Tristan McKenzie. And boy, is that encouraging. 1 down here in the second. Tri-Fans, did you know your local Toyota dealer has 12 different Toyotas built right here? Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care's 2-year no-cost maintenance. For all Toyota offers, go to buyatoyota.com. Jeimer Candelario, switch-hitting first baseman. He'll swing it left-handed. Another hot Tiger, batting .361 over the last 16 games. The pitch to him, and he takes a called strike on a fastball. Well, and you also realize that when you're drafted like McKenzie was in 2015, the pitch, and it's high 1-1, you're not going to pitch much the year you're drafted. And he didn't. 12 innings. So in a lot of ways, he's only had 2 full years of minor league pitching. That pitch downstairs, and the count 2-1. I mean, he's been in the Indians organization now for 5 years, and he's only pitched in 60 games. The pitch is waved at. Good changeup. Boy, he's got a good changeup. 2-2 the count. So if you break that out, that's 12 starts a year in the minor leagues. That's not much. Never has pitched in AAA. He delivers, and it's swung on a high bouncer to second, and the belt-high hop handled by Hernandez. He'll throw out Candelario. 5 up and 5 down, and we are still scoreless here in the second. And if you're listening to us tonight, first off, thank you. Now, if you're driving a car, then don't take this advice. But if you're at home, enjoy the great taste of Montgomery Inn, the official barbecue of the Cleveland Indians, available at your local grocer and at MontgomeryInn.com. The wind and the pitch to Jacoby Jones, low and away, ball 1. Montgomery Inn, they're the Ribs King. And we thank their president, Evan Andrews, and all the good folks at Montgomery Inn for being a part of Tri Baseball. 2 down, no score. And another slider missing, 2-0. He's gone to the slider a little bit here in the second, but not throwing it 4 strikes. McKenzie rocks and fires, and the pitch is down and in, ball 3, 3-0. McKenzie was a first-round pick by the Indians in 2015. He was going to go to Vanderbilt. He had a full ride to Vanderbilt coming out of the Palm Beach, Florida area. Now the 3-0 pitch, bullseye, 3-1. The Indians gave him $800,000 above slot. That's how much they wanted him. $2.3 million to sign, and he decided not to go to Nashville. That pitch, breaking ball, a little outside. He threw a 3-1 curveball. Jacoby Jones took it, and that's his first major league walk. So the Tigers have a runner on with 2 down in the second. No score, and the batter will be Kristen Stewart, the left-handed hitting left fielder. So $2.3 million, which was $800,000 above slot, and the Indians wanted him badly, and they paid big bucks for it. And now we're seeing the first dividends from that investment. No score as Stewart takes. It's over but low, ball 1. McKenzie. The last time he had a full season of health in the minor leagues, he overmatched everybody. The 1-0 pitch, swung on, smashed foul outside of first, 1-1. His last full healthy season was 2017. He was at Lynchburg, that's high A. He went 12-6 with an ERA of 3.5, and he averaged 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. He works out of the stretch for the first time in his young career. Works from the third base side of the rubber. Now the 1-1 to the left-handed hitting Stewart with a shift to the right. And he pops it up foul upper deck behind home plate. And a 1-2 count. But he just looks so smooth delivering the baseball. And there's always been concern by scouts about his frame. 6'5", 165. But he's wiry strong, and some people's DNA is they just don't put on weight. Here's the set. Here's the 1-2. The runner goes. Pitch is high. Perez with a perfect throw to second. Inning over. Jacoby Jones slides into the tag of Frankie Lindor. So Roberto Perez, as good as it gets at Honda. They're at I-71 and Pearl Road in Middleburg Heights. Check out their inventory. Their current specials are online at sunnysidehonda.com. No score, bottom of the second. Franmil Reyes takes one underneath the arms for ball 1. Reyes, another home run last night. He has murdered the Tigers this year with 4 home runs. The pitch to him, and it's a changeup away, and the count 2-0. So Boyd is throwing more changeups here tonight. He's got that abbreviated delivery, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Came right back with a changeup, 2-1. It looks like he's working out of the stretch because he stands sideways on the mound, then has that very abbreviated leg kick and delivery to the plate. Now the 2-1, and it's in there, a strike on the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Franmil Reyes over the last 13 games batting .417 with 5 homers, 14 RBIs. The pitch to him, and it's inside and all the way to the backstop. Boy, when Boyd tries to back foot the slider, he is almost hitting the right-handed hitter's back foot. Full count. Outfield is fairly deep, a bit toward left. Normal infield defense, the pitch. And it's swung on and missed. He chased a high changeup. That time Boyd threw 3 changeups to Franmil Reyes. And the guy smiling in the Tigers' first base dugout is pitching coach Rick Anderson. First strikeout, 1 down in the second. And Jordan Luplow, who is 2 for 23 this year. Tigers now put 3 on the left side of the infield. Dollar Bank and the Indians giving you a chance to win one of 3 fantastic Indians prizes now through September 2nd. Visit Indians.com/Dollar Bank Sweeps to enter. Boyd's first offering, Luplow taking it just off the outside corner for ball 1. The Indians need somebody in the outfield to get hot. Bradley Zimmer was sent to the alternate campsite in Lake County as Luplow floats one into shallow right toward the line as Reyes on the run to get there. 2 down. Sandy Alomar, who will manage this entire weekend, as Terry Francona resting after a procedure at the clinic. So Santos will stay in charge through the weekend. And Sandy was saying that Bradley Zimmer's just not getting enough at-bats up here. The Indians have too many outfielders on the club. They know that, but with the expanded rosters, you're going to have extra players, and certain guys you're not worried about. Here's Domingo Santana swinging and fouling it off to the right, strike 1. If certain guys don't get a ton of at-bats, there are certain players that the Indians will say that's fine, but Bradley Zimmer needs at-bats. Now the 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss, 0-2. And Bradley Zimmer hasn't played much the last 2 years due to injuries, so they want him to get some at-bats in the simulated games in Lake County and maybe get him on a roll. No score with 2 down, the 2-strike pitch, swing and a miss, waved at a changeup away. And Matthew Boyd's changeup has been
on WTAM 1100.
Visit your local Ohio Kubota dealer for savings on Kubota zero-turn mowers, utility vehicles, subcompact, compact, and utility tractors. For a Kubota dealer near you, visit GoKubota.com. 3rd inning, Tribe and Tigers scoreless. The Major League debut of Tristan McKenzie, who's never pitched above Double-A until tonight. Bottom third of the Tiger order, Christian Stewart, the left-handed hitting left fielder, rolls one into the shift on the right side. Lindor going toward first, gloves, and the shortstop throws out Stewart. Now the catcher, Austin Romine, batting .311, couple of homers, 3 RBIs. Well, Tristan McKenzie couldn't be any more impressive than what he's been. And it'll be interesting to see second and third time through the lineup how the Tigers are able to handle the youngster. McKenzie rocks and delivers to Romine, and it's in there, a called strike. He just has a great personality, just a delightful young man to visit with, great sense of humor. Now the 0-1 pitch, and he went curve and missed down low, 1-1. And there's not an organization in the major leagues that's better at developing pitchers than the Indians, and here's another product. There's a good curveball strike, 1-2. Now, his curveball's in the low 80s, changeup upper 80s, fastball mid 90s. Good luck. The 1-2 delivery, way outside, and the count 2-2.
And Tom, he is keenly aware of how adept the Indians organization is at developing pitching. When they held him back a little bit in spring training, he wasn't upset about that. He said, good for them. That must mean that they had the right thing in mind.
The pitch swung on, fouled at the plate, and Romine stays alive at 2-2.
Complete trust in what they were trying to do to make sure he stayed healthy and progressed at a good rate and not too quickly, and thus risk injury again.
Well, this is a guy everybody's tried to trade for. He's not going anywhere. Now the 2-2 delivery. A swing and a miss with a fastball up around the letters. Strikeout number 3, and Romine is out number 2 in the third. Game stays scoreless. And here's Isaac Paredes. You spell his first name like you would spell the name Isaac, but he is from Mexico, and it is not pronounced Isaac. It is pronounced Isaac. He got a grand slam last night for his first Major League home run. The wind-end pitch to the right-handed hitter is low, ball one. He is the 10th Detroit Tiger. Hard to believe there have been that many who got a grand slam for their first Major League home run. McKenzie's pitch, and it's in there, 1-1. Rosie, I just can't get over the way he pounds the strike zone. He's got a 2-to-1 ratio of strikes to balls in your Major League debut.
But you mentioned you met him. I can't imagine the moment would be too big for him. That doesn't mean you're going to pound the strike zone the whole time.
The 1-1 pitch is outside. It's a ball, 2-1. That's the one pitch he's not been able to throw for strikes, the slider. No, he's just, some kids have that it factor. McKenzie has the it factor. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a foul back, jammed him with a mid-90s fastball. 2-2 the count. Will he be in the rotation the rest of the way? That's to be determined. Mike Clevenger and Zach Plesac will have spent their 10 days in Lake County after the conclusion of tomorrow. Then they are eligible to be brought back up. And next week becomes very intriguing. Paredes, 2 for 13 since coming up. 2 down, nobody on, no score in the third. The pitch. And strike 3 called on another heater. So Tristan McKenzie saying, you know what? Eastlake is beautiful this time of the summer, but I sure prefer being a little further west. Perez leads off the Tribe third, no score. The lefty Matthew Boyd's pitch, and he starts him off with a fastball away, ball one. Terry Doman of Brunswick is tonight's contestant in the Liberty Ford Grand Slam giveaway inning. The pitch, and it's a breaking ball strike, and the count 1-1. If the Indians hit a grand slam here in the third, Terry Doman of Brunswick wins the 2020 Ford Mustang. Visit libertyford.com to enter. Perez leans back from the fastball inside, 2 balls and a strike. Roberto 2 for 18, but remember he missed 3 weeks with a sore shoulder. Boyd, not wasting time, comes to the plate, and another good slider for strike 2. Tribe going with their red jerseys tonight with the navy blue white trim and the white pants. Tigers with their traveling gray with the orange and navy blue trim. Perez cuts and misses at a fastball in on his hands, and Boyd has his third strikeout. 1 down here in the third. Now Delino DeShields. He's batting .267, 3 RBIs. Right-handed hitter playing in center field. Now the Minnesota Twins are having more pitching injuries, and we will, of course, see them starting Monday. Jake Odorizzi got hit by a line drive last night. The wind, the pitch, and it's fouled straight back, strike 1. He suffered a chest contusion. He was having a tough time breathing after the game, and Jake Odorizzi's been put on the 10-day injured list. And the Twins starters are going by the wayside. The pitch, and it's down low, 1-1. Homer Bailey, who's had tendonitis in his pitching arm, he's been put on the 45-day injured list. The 1-1 swing and a foul upstairs, 1-2. There's a pretty good chance Homer Bailey doesn't pitch anymore in the regular season. At best, mid to late September. Rich Hill has had his issues. Michael Pineda still on the suspended list. The pitch, and it's down low. Did it hit the foot of DeShields? Again, that back foot slider that almost got DeShields on the foot didn't hit him, so it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And the Twins, they have no idea when Josh Donaldson's coming back. Byron Buxton now on the injured list. Not quite as rosy a picture as it was a year ago. Now the 2-2. A swing and a roller headed to third. Paredes digs it out, throws it over for the out. DeShields hustling, made it close. Another good changeup, though, by Matthew Boyd. And, boy, he has gone to that pitch a lot and might be the reason why he's got one of his best starts of the year going. No score here in the third inning. Try batting with 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the order in Cesar Hernandez. He grounded out his first time up. The second baseman will swing it right-handed. Another gorgeous night here off the lakefront as the pitch is up and away a ball. Just the lightest of breezes blowing in. 81 degrees, another clear night, and lots more great weather in the future. The pitch, and it's a slider strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Boyd out of Oregon State University kicks, delivers, and misses down and in the count 2-1. Had a career year last year, 9-12 record with a 4.5 ERA, but he set a Tiger record. The pitch, outside and high, 3-1. He averaged 12 strikeouts per 9 innings, a new Tiger record. No score, third inning, 2 down. Now the 3-1 pitch. Swung on a weak chopper toward third, but it kicks foul. Full count now on Hernandez. We shall see if there's much pitching out on the market. Trading deadline is a week from Monday. Now the payoff. Swung on, foul down the right side. This will land in the club seats. And a full count on Cesar Hernandez with 2 down, bases empty in this scoreless third inning. Boyd is ready. Here it comes. Swung on, drill to center. That's a base hit. So the Indians have their second hit, both coming with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Jose Ramirez, trying to break an 0 for 20 skid. He'll bat right-handed. Ramirez not only in an 0 for 20 skid, but he's batting 150 now in the month of August. And we're 3 weeks into August. He is playing with that sore thumb, but Sandy Alomar saying Jose wants to stay in the lineup and says it's not the reason that he's struggling. The pitch to him, and he looks at a slider or an off-speed pitch of some kind that was up but called a strike. This same thing has been kind of bothering Ramirez, Lindor, and Santana. They've chased a lot of pitches. They've been off balance, trying to pull everything. Now the 0-1, high, ball 1, 1-1. Who knows? Maybe it's the impact of a compressed season that has guys trying to do too much. Now the throw to first. Hernandez goes, man, if that's his good move, I'm stealing second. Pretty obvious he was throwing over. Scoreless game, third inning. Hernandez at first. 2 down in the third. Boyd another throw, and again Hernandez back standing. Boyd does not have a good move. Boyd is facing an all right-handed hitting lineup tonight, and right-handers are batting .358 against Matthew Boyd this year. That's 120 points better than lefties. Now the 1-1, and he broke a breaking ball in there for a strike. Ramirez thought it was high. 1-2. We've seen more of this from Jose lately, too. Not happy with calls. Normally, you see little, if any, emotion from Jose, so he's getting frustrated. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with an off-speed pitch. And 4 strikeouts for Matthew Boyd. We go to the fourth. Cleveland, Detroit. No
Indians Radio Network.
News Radio WTAM 1100. Cleveland. Home of the Indians and Cavaliers. An iHeart radio station.
Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton back with you at Progressive Field, downtown Cleveland. Scoreless, the fourth inning underway. Victor Reyes bounces one foul outside of first base, facing Triston McKenzie in his major league debut. And the first three innings couldn't have gone much better. Only one base runner. He walked Jacoby Jones back in the second inning, but then Jones was caught stealing, so McKenzie's faced the minimum. Reyes awaits the pitch. Here it is, down low for a ball, and the count evens at 1-1. 7 of the first 10 hitters have seen a first pitch strike from McKenzie, always a key. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, foul tipped, and the count's now 1-2. Another good changeup, and we've seen a lot of that from McKenzie, who's known for the hard stuff. Fastball in the mid-90s consistently tonight. And mixing in an excellent change. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, line drive, center field, coming on to Shields, and he makes the backhanded catch. Drifting over to left center, shallow. He came in and made a fine play. So one away, and here comes Willie Castro. Castro bounced back to the mound his first time up. Well, this is the Chick-fil-A double play inning. If the Indians turn a double play here in the fourth, use the Chick-fil-A app to get your free breakfast variety entree from participating Cleveland, Akron, and Sandusky Chick-fil-A locations. The pitch to Castro is swung on and walloped high and deep to right, way back, and gone. And the first hit allowed by McKenzie is a home run off the bat of a former teammate, Willie Castro, and it's 1-0 Tigers. Boy, Castro is sitting on a pitch, and he did not miss it. For Castro, that's his second home run after a call-up about 3 weeks into the season. He got a changeup that was out over the plate and lost it on McKenzie. So 1-0 Detroit. And here comes Miguel Cabrera, who struck out his first time up. So this will be a good test for the kid. As McKenzie's back to it. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Strike one. How do you react after giving up that first home run? And the opposition takes the lead. Comes right back and fires a fastball past Cabrera. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on, driven foul down the right side and well out of play. And the count's quickly 0-2 on Cabrera, who struck out his first time up. McKenzie has struck out 4. He's walked 1. The slender right-hander looks in. And here comes his 0-2 pitch to Cabrera. Breaking ball low and outside. 1-2 the count on the legendary Miguel Cabrera, having a rough start to his season, and now we're about halfway through in this shortened campaign, batting just 184 coming in, and he's been in a tough stretch. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tied him up inside with the hard stuff at 96 miles an hour. 2 down in the inning on the 5th strikeout for Triston McKenzie. Try Baseball brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts, where you can fall into something comfortable with all of your pumpkin favorites, plus new drinks like oat milk lattes, which are creamy without the dairy. Use the Dunkin' app for contactless ordering. Cleveland runs on Dunkin'. Here's Jonathan Scope, and Scope takes a pitch low and outside, on the outside corner for a strike. Scope struck out his first time up. The 0-1, down low, 1-1. 1-0 Detroit on the Castro home run here in the 4th inning. Now the 1-1 from McKenzie. Swung on, line drive to center, deep. Back on it is DeShields. He's there, and he makes the catch just shy of the warning track. So some harder hit balls this second time through the order on McKenzie, but he escapes, allowing just the 1 run. And as we head to the bottom half of the 4th, Indians trailing 1-0 as Francisco Lindor leads things off. Bottom half of the 4th inning. facing lefty Matthew Boyd. Boyd's into the line. Here's his pitch to Lindor. Swung on, popped him up foul out of play off to the first base side. Lindor doubled his first time up back in the first inning. Switch hitter, right side. And he looks into a shift with 3 on that left side of the infield. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good curveball that time from Boyd, and he doesn't throw many of those either, but we've seen a lot more change-ups and a few curveballs for a pitcher who is primarily a fastball slider pitcher, to the point where it was almost 90% of just those 2 pitches early in the season. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, a tapper, hit to short. Corralled by Castro, fires on the run, not in time. Boyd had a chance at that, falling off to the third base side of the mound, but once it trickled under his glove, no chance for Castro, not with Lindor running. And Lindor reaches on an infield single. Carlos Santana will step in. Well, the good folks at the Cleveland Clinic know that you have 206 bones in your body, and they care for every single one of them. They're #1 in Ohio for orthopedics. Get the care you need when you need it. Visit clevelandclinic.org/ortho. Here's Santana, another switch hitter, right side. Throw to first, back safely is Lindor. Lindor does not have a stolen bases yet. He's tried it once, was caught. Indians has a team 8 for 11 stealing bases. Romine behind the plate has thrown out 3 of 10. Here's Boyd's pitch, and Santana takes a slider on the inside corner for a strike. As Tom had mentioned earlier, Rick Anderson, a very good pitching coach and longtime pitching coach for Ron Gardenhire, be it with the Twins or the Tigers now. First the 0-1. Fastball high and away. But he put it out there in no uncertain terms to Boyd after this slow start. You've got to use your off-speed stuff more. The changeup, bring it into play. And Boyd has taken that message to heart here tonight, and it's worked. Throw to first, back safely is Lindor. Last year, Boyd, with that good overall season, he was tremendous in the first half of the year, but faded in the second half of the season, and some of that carried through into his first 5 starts of this year, but an ERA almost 2 runs higher after the All-Star break last year. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, ripped foul. That's over to the first base side, in and out of the upper deck. And it's 1-2 on Santana. 1-0, Detroit in front. Bottom half of the 4th inning. Want to welcome in our season ticket holder of the game and say hello to Denny Brayer of Worcester, a 3-year Tribe season ticket holder. Denny Brayer of Worcester. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, foul tipped, and not held by Romine. Man, he got up there and wanted to squeeze it, but it's one of the hardest things for any catcher to do, and that's secure a foul tip and grab a strikeout for your pitcher, and that time Romine couldn't do it. 1-2 the count. Lindor with a good lead over at first base. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and there's a high fly ball, shallow left, creeping in Stewart, and the left fielder makes the catch for the first out in the inning. So with 1 away, Franmil Reyes will step in. Legacy Roofing is Ohio's premier roofing service provider. Whether you need a roof repair or full roof replacement, give them a call at 855-GOT-ROOF. And they'll get you a free estimate. Visit LegacyRoofingOH.com for all the details. Drive down 1-0. But the man at the plate can change a game with one swing. We saw it last weekend in Detroit. A pair of mammoth home runs against the Tigers. Struck out his first time tonight. The pitch to Franmil Reyes is inside for ball 1. Reyes, coming off that 37 home run season a year ago, leads the ball club with 6 and tied for team high honors with 18 knocked in. Here's Boyd's 1-0. Fastball just missed inside. 2-0 to Reyes. Infield set up at double play depth with 1 out. Outfield straightaway and deep all the way around. Boyd, the lefty, sets at the letters and throws to first. Back safely again is Lindor. What a night we have for baseball in downtown Cleveland. 81 degrees at game time, a little cooler than that now, as the sun is just about set completely. Gentle breeze blowing in from right center, but nothing that's going to knock down too much hit that way. Now the 2-0. Breaking ball in there for a strike. That's the curve right there, and a beauty from Boyd. And that's a pitch he worked on in the offseason and in the regular spring training back in March. But hasn't used it much during this abbreviated season. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, popped him up, shallow center, and coming on quickly, unable to get there is the center fielder, Jacoby Jones. Boy, Scope, the second baseman, he did not really go after that hard. And Jones is looking at him right now. Boyd's looking out at the both of them. Boy, when that left the bat, you thought that ball's going to be caught, and it was not. Lindor moves up to second. Reyes is aboard with a bloop single. And the Indians have something brewing here with 1 out in the 4th inning. Jordan Luplow will be the batter. Luplow flying to right his first time up. The Blaster Corporation, based in Cleveland and makers of PB Blaster, is #1 for loosening up rusted parts. Whatever the job, always use Blaster products and work it like a pro. Here's Luplow, right-handed batter. The pitch to him. Fastball in there for a strike. Well, Indians still holding out hope that Luplow will get it going, and we'll see the Jordan Luplow that just pulverized left-handed pitching a season ago, his best major league season. Still trying to establish himself, and he did last year. Here's the 0-1. Outside for a ball, 1-1. He had an OPS, on base plus slugging, basically just a nice number that tells you about power, and if a guy's having a good year, if you get about 800, 900 on your OPS, that's pretty good. His against left-handed pitching, almost 1,200. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike. 14 home runs against left-handed pitching. That was 4th best in the American League. His on-base percentage was .439. Just a tremendous year against the lefties, and the Indians looking to see some of that now from Luplow. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low and in. Went with a fastball that time. Tried to get Luplow to chase. 2-2 the count. Jordan Luplow, former 3rd-round draft pick of the Pirates, came over in a trade prior to last season from Pittsburgh. Now the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside and high. Luplow still is just 26 years of age. He's out of the San Diego area now, but grew up in Northern California, near Visalia. That's where he was born, and then high school in Clovis, California. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Changeup gets him. Another strikeout for Boyd on a good changeup. It's his 5th strikeout. 2 down in the inning. Tribe trailing 1-0. And here comes Domingo Santana. Runners at first and second. With 2 down, Santana struck out his first time up. Well, it's still going. If you were with us last night, that was the beginning of the Indians' second annual Give-a-thon presented by Colic Giving and benefiting Cleveland Indians charities, with all the money raised going towards Cleveland Metropolitan School District schools and breakthrough schools as well, the Boys and Girls Clubs. Here's the pitch to Santana. Swing and a miss, strike one. And all of the nations and entities getting money raised to help bridge the digital divide, and that's, in maybe simpler terms, to get internet to everybody who needs it, especially the school kids in the city of Cleveland, who will be learning remotely, at least at the start, as there's a ground ball to third. Up with it, Paredes goes the short way to second in time for the force, and the side is reached. 5-0, top half of the fifth. Tristan McKenzie continues for the Indians in his major league debut. He's been terrific as he faces Jeimer Candelario, who swings and tries one to left deep. Going back on it, Luplow looking up. This ball's off the wall. Luplow plays it on a couple of hops. On his way to second is Candelario, and he is in with a stand-up double. Candelario with his fifth double on the season, and he remains red hot. And certainly the second time through the batting order, the Tigers with much more success against Tristan McKenzie, and that's all part of the learning process for a young man making his major league debut. Here's Jacoby Jones. He walked his first time up. Right-handed batter. Good speed. Ramirez at third plays even with the bag. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Jones showed bunt. And Candelario did not venture too far off the bag on a ball that got away from Perez just briefly. 1 run on 2 hits for the Tigers. No runs, 4 hits for the Tribe. Indians have had a couple of scoring opportunities, but they've stranded 4. Next pitch, swing and a miss. And quickly it's 0-2 on Jones. Good curve that time from McKenzie. Just 23 years of age, and if you missed the warm-up show, a great note put in the Indians game notes. First the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the hard stuff, up and in. Another strikeout for McKenzie, number 6. And we'll make that our Ohio Cat strikeout of the game. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or rent equipment, Ohio Cat and the Cat Rental Store have the right solution. So 1 down, runner still at second, and Kristen Stewart steps in. Stewart bounced to short his first time up. And talking about how young McKenzie is at 23 and 20 days. Here's the pitch to Stewart. Missed inside with a fastball for ball 1. McKenzie was 5 years old when Tiger DH Miguel Cabrera made his debut in June of 2003. Cabrera's still going. McKenzie is just getting started on what he hopes is a long major league career. He'd take a career as long as Miguel Cabrera's any day of the week. Shift is on here for Stewart. 3 on the right side of the infield. The 1-0. Off speed, catches the outside corner for a strike. Good curve again from McKenzie. The 8th youngest starter to debut for the Tribe since 2000 is Tristan McKenzie, the 1-1. Breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike. And the 4th youngest to debut since 2010. The youngest, remember, Jenmar Gomez. He was just past 22 when he debuted in July of 2010. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Stewart caught looking. 7 strikeouts for McKenzie. And after the leadoff double, Candelario is still there, and McKenzie will go to work on Austin Romine. Dollar Bank and the Indians are giving you a chance to win one of 3 fantastic Tribe prizes now through September 2nd. Visit Indians.com/DollarBankSweeps to enter. McKenzie's at 65 pitches, so he's been economical, trying to get deep into this game if he can. Here's the pitch. Fastball strike on the inside corner to Romine. Romine struck out his first time up. 85 pitches is what McKenzie was stretched out to over in Lake County in the sim games. So we'll see if he has the chance to go that far here tonight, if he's effective, and he certainly has been. Working from the stretch here with Candelario at second base and 2 down. 1-0 Detroit leads on the Castro home run last inning. That's been it. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Chased the high fastball. Didn't get it. And it's 0-2 on Romine. Working on a 7-game hit streak. Last 13 games hitting well over 300 with 10 runs driven in. And doing nice work behind the plate, handling a younger pitching staff. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, fouled back. Tried to get him with a slider that time. Romine spoiled it. We'll do it again on 0-2. Always exciting when a highly touted prospect makes that major league debut, and that is the case tonight for Triston McKenzie. The young right-hander sets up high. Here's his pitch. Breaking ball down low. 1-2 the count. We had General Manager Mike Chernoff on the warm-up show tonight, and he said it's an exciting night, not just for Triston McKenzie, but really the entire organization on the development side, especially all the coaches, instructors, trainers, especially in his case, getting him healthy, strength and conditioning. It's really a big effort on the part of a lot of people to see what happens tonight. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, foul tip, hung on to by Perez. That's strike 3. Another strikeout for McKenzie. 3 in the inning, 8 in the game. Roberto Perez to lead things off for the Indians, trying to break through against Matthew Boyd, who has not had an outing like this season. The left-hander, who has been a mainstay in the Tigers' rotation a couple of seasons now, has been off to a rocky start. He came in after 5 starts with an ERA just under 10. And as you can imagine, winless in those 5 starts, 0-3, but he's throwing the ball tonight like he has on so many occasions, especially the last 2 seasons. Here's his pitch to Perez. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 1. Perez struck out his first time up. Here comes the 0-1 delivery. Swung on and fouled back out of play. Quickly it's 0-2 on Roberto Perez. We saw him pick up a base hit last night, a single to right field, and that's always a good sign for Perez, who also drew a walk. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball down low. Did he check it? Yes, he did. As they made the appeal to Alex Tosi, the home first base umpire. So it's 1-2 on Perez. We'll see if he can carry a good night at the plate last night through to tonight. The 1-2. Down low. 2-2. Just missed. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Off speed got him. Boy, Boyd's had really good off speed stuff tonight. That's his 6th strikeout. 1 down in the inning for Delino DeShields. Time for our Cleveland Indians memorable moment, brought to you by the J.M. Smucker Company. Headquartered in Northeast Ohio, the J.M. Smucker Company makes food that people and pets love. We take you back to this date, August the 27th. Did I say 27th? 22nd, 1970. DeShields takes a pitch low and in for a ball. Chuck Hinton got a walk-off single in the bottom of the 10th inning. Indians beat the Athletics 6-5. Here's the 1-0. Fastball high and away. 2-0. And that was a bright spot for Hinton, who was in his age 36 season that year for the Indians near the end and still hit 9 homers that year, drove in 29. DeShields skies one to right. Shallow creeping in is Reyes, and he makes the catch to retire DeShields. Indians with 2 down, bases empty, as Boyd continues to dominate. And Cesar Hernandez will step in. Hernandez singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Keep your business operating with Ohio's expert commercial truck dealerships, Valley Ford Truck and Valley Ford of Huron, your full-line Ford Transit and Super Duty truck leaders. Here comes the pitch to Hernandez. He swings and grounds one to the second baseman. Up with it. Scope on to first. In time for the out. Very close play, but they get it done, and the side is retired in order. Whew. Matt Boyd looking good, and the Indians struggling with him. They'll trail 1-0 to the Tigers heading to the 6th inning. Brought to you by Great Lakes Brewing Company, the unofficial
duel with the kid and the vet. Hi again, everybody. Tom Hamilton back with you. It's 1-0 Tigers as we go to the 6th inning. Isak Paredes, the number 9 hitter, facing the rookie, and a strike delivered from Triston McKenzie. In his major league debut, Triston McKenzie has struck out 7, walked 1, and given up 2 hits. The pitch swung on and missed. Another good curveball, 0-2. The only run in this game, Willie Castro hit an absolute bomb to right. A 445-foot solo homer in the 4th. That's it. McKenzie dealing. Paredes swinging and missing at a mid-90s fastball. And that is 4 consecutive strikeouts for Triston McKenzie. He has struck out 8 in this ball game. And McKenzie couldn't be more impressive. The Indians will really watch the pitch count with McKenzie. Now, the good news for him, he hasn't really had high leverage innings. Top of the order, and Victor Reyes, 3rd at bat, watches it bounce in for a ball. He has lined out and has grounded out. McKenzie kicks, fires, and maybe outside, ball 2, 2-0. McKenzie had not made more than 85 pitches in any start in the simulated games in Eastlake. Into the motion, the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, lifted high in the air to fairly deep right. Santana's back in front of the track to pull it down. Greg Allen is now playing center field for some reason, so don't know if Delino DeShields is hurt, but once we find out, we will pass that along. But Greg Allen now in center field for the Indians. Greg Allen has been back and forth between the alternate camp and the Tribe. 2 down, 1-0, Detroit leading it. We're in the 6th inning as Willie Castro, the difference in this game, takes a curveball strike. Matthew Boyd has blanked the Indians on 4 hits and told you what McKenzie has done, and that is your game summary brought to you by Ford, America's best-selling brand. The next pitch is swung on and rolled foul off to the right, 0-2. Well, Castro's not getting any fastballs right now. He's going to see some curveballs, see if he can do damage with it. Triston McKenzie learns in a hurry. Outfield toward left, infield pulled to the right. Castro, switch hitter, batting left-handed, takes a high fastball. The thing that's impressive about Triston McKenzie tonight, he's maintaining his stuff. That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball on his 79th pitch of the night. 1-0 Tigers, 6th inning. And now Castro backs away. The 6th inning is brought to you by Great Lakes Brewing Company. Enjoy the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd with the Great Lakes official craft beer of the Indians. The pitch. A swing and a miss. Castro strikes out, and McKenzie has made 80 pitches. That might be.
Hey, you want anything? Popcorn? Soda? No, nothing.
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Cleveland's news, talk, and sports on WTAM 1100 and 106.9 FM.
Matthew Boyd with a 1-1 count on Jose Ramirez. Bottom of the sixth. It's a 1-0 Tiger lead on a gorgeous Saturday night in Cleveland. The pitch. Ramirez looks, and it's downstairs. Ball 2-1. Jose Ramirez, a ground out, a strikeout. 0 for his last 21. Shift to the left. The pitch. And it's downstairs. Ball 3-1. Nick Whitgren warming in the Indians' pen, so that would seem to indicate that Tristan McKenzie's Major League debut is over. The 3-1 pitch, and it's ball 4 low. Well, maybe that'll get Ramirez going. He didn't chase any pitches that time, and he has just been ultra aggressive, and that's been an issue with a lot of the Indians hitters. Even when they get into hitters' counts, they've been too aggressive and have swung at a pitcher's pitch and not stayed patient. And in a hitter's count especially, you need to get the pitch you want to swing at. Here's Francisco Lindor. First walk by Matthew Boyd, who has struck out 6 and is pitching his best game of the year. Boyd has had 2 different starts this year in which he gave up 7 runs. Tossed to first, and back is Ramirez. Boyd came in here with an earned run average of .964. The Indians have 4 base hits, but trail 1-0. Lindor now, rare time he bats without an infield shift. Boyd's pitch, Lindor taking. Strike called on the fastball. Whether you're shipping from Cleveland or through Cleveland, choose Global Transport, Northeast Ohio's preferred provider for transportation and logistics management. 1 run, 2 hits for the Tigers. No runs, 4 hits for the Tribe. Bottom of the 6th. Boyd, hands held, chest high. The pitch. And he came inside and missed with it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matthew Boyd, his longest outing this year has been 5 innings until tonight. He's ready. He delivers. Lindor loops one into right. That's going to get down for a base hit. Ramirez stops at second. And Frankie Lindor goes oppo. And a little looping liner. That's a base hit the other way. And Frankie's got a 3-hit game tonight. And the Indians have their first rally of the night. Activity now. John Schreiber, the right-hander, up in the Tiger bullpen. Carlos Santana, ground out, fly out. He'll bat right-handed. So the Indians have men at first and second. Nobody out. 6th inning. Indians trailing 1-0. It would be great to see the Indians get the lead here in the 6th. And that would give Tristan McKenzie an opportunity to win his first major league game in his major league debut. Looks like McKenzie's night is over after 6 brilliant innings tonight. Now the set. The pitch. And he went with a breaking ball strike. And Carlos Santana, a little off balance, took it. Boyd checks the runners. He comes to the plate, and he missed outside with a changeup, 1-1. They have emphasized that Matthew Boyd throw that changeup, a pitch that he just had not been throwing this year. And boy, he's done a much better job of that tonight, and it has been an effective weapon. He has thrown it 22 times tonight. Now the 1-1. And that time he went away with a fastball and missed. 2-1. Matthew Boyd, much better pitch distribution. As tonight, He's gone with 44 fastballs, 22 changeups, then the curveball and slider. Now the set. Now the pitch. And he went upstairs, missed with it. Throw back to first and in with a head-first dive is Lindor. Candelario tried to sneak in from the backside, but Lindor didn't stray too far. And it's a 3-1 count on Santana. So for the first time tonight, Matthew Boyd is laboring. The Indians, trailing 1-0, have 2 men on with nobody out, and Santana in a hitter's count with 3 balls and a strike. Boyd is ready. Here it comes. And it's swung on line to right field. Coming on is Reyes, and he makes the catch. How about that? Boyd stayed with a changeup. Santana lined it the other way, and that'll be the last batter Boyd faces. So he has his longest outing of the year. It's still only 5 1/3 innings. But he'll leave with a 1-0 lead, and Ron Gardenhire, who hasn't had many games to manage with a lead, is going to go to a very good bullpen before the Indians blow it up on Matthew Boyd. This pitching change brought to you by Cleveland Clinic. Tigers leading the Indians 1-0 here in the 6th.
What makes an SUV smart? Any idea? Is it a 160 IQ? A marble bust of Galileo's face carved into the tailgate?
University of Northwestern Ohio. And here's John Schreiber on the big stage trying to keep a 1-0 lead with Indians at first and second, 1 down in the 6th. Schreiber, a sidewinder, has been one of the Tigers' most effective relief pitchers. He's 0-1 but has a 2.53 ERA. He has yet to walk a batter in 10 appearances, and the opposition is batting 184. He's looking for a double play ball right here to end the inning. Righty-righty matchup. Franmil Reyes has struck out and singled. Jose Ramirez at second, Frankie Lindor at first. They're both getting generous leads. 1 down in the 6th, 1-0 Detroit. The pitch, and it's a called strike on the outside corner. Schreiber, fastball that sinks with a slider and change. Reyes is played in the outfield a little bit the other way toward right, fairly deep. The set, the pitch, and a fastball zings in there. It's only 89 miles an hour. But he's got Reyes in the hole, 0-2. Schreiber was a 15th round pick 4 years ago. Now the 2-strike pitch. Down and in. Slider missed. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matthew Boyd went 5 1/3. Allowed 5 hits, struck out 6, walked 1. No runs off Boyd, but he is responsible for the 2 base runners. Now the 1-2 delivery. And it's over but low. Ball 2, 2-2. Infield is pulled to the left, but no shift. Indians need somebody once again to get a big hit. They haven't scored since the 3rd inning of last night's game. That pitch down and away. And now the count's gone from 0-2 to 3 balls and 2 strikes. See what the runners are doing here with the drive down 1-0. Franmil Reyes' 2-run homer in the 3rd inning last night, the last time the Indians scored. Now the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with a breaking ball. So Schreiber strikes out Reyes. 2 down in the 6th. And now Jordan Luplow will bat against the right-hander. Luplow has flied out, has struck out. And Luplow is now 2 for 30 this year. Two out, 2 on, 1-0 Detroit, bottom of the 6th. Now the shift to the left side of the infield as Luplow checked on a breaking ball away. Did he go? No, he did not. Ball 1. Outfield straight up, medium deep. No breeze. A beautiful 81 degrees here in downtown Cleveland. Day game tomorrow at 1:10. Carlos Carrasco against the youngster Tarek Skubal. Half swing and a miss by Jordan Luplow evens the count at 1-1. Schreiber works third base side of the rubber, checks second. Now he'll come to the plate. Luplow lays off a breaking ball down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Schreiber is a Michigan native who then went to Northwestern Ohio in Lima. Luplow played his college ball with Aaron Judge out of Fresno State. Now the 2-1. Strike on the inside corner, another breaking ball. And the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The right-hander's ready. Here it comes. Low and away, missed with a slider and a full count. So traveling time for Ramirez at second, Lindor at first. They've been there when there were no men out. Now they're there with 2 men out. 1-0 Tigers is the payoff. Way outside a breaking ball. Good backhanded pick by Romine in the other batter's box. And the Indians have loaded them up with 2 down for Domingo Santana, who has grounded out and struck out so far in tonight's game. So bases loaded for the Indians. 2 down in the 6th. 1-0 Tigers leading it. Matthew Boyd in the Tiger dugout trying to get his first win of the year. The set by Schreiber and the pitch. And it's a fastball strike, and Santana thought it was high. Santana played toward right field. And the outfielders are medium to fairly deep. Normal defense on the infield. Although Candelario well off the line at first. The pitch. And strike 2 painted the outside corner. 0 into the count on Domingo Santana with the bases loaded, 2 down, and the Tigers up 1-0. The Indians another frustrating night offensively. Schreiber's ready. Here it comes. Inside a breaking ball, almost hit him. 1-2 the count. Santana grabs some dirt. He's a rarity in today's game. He does not use batting gloves, so he grabs dirt the old school way. Now the 1-2. Fouled back the breaking ball, and will do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. The Indians have struggled all year to hit with men in the scoring position that they're in now, bases loaded. The set by Schreiber. Here it comes. Way outside with a fastball, 1-2 the count. As a team, the Indians with men in scoring position batting just .235. Schreiber's ready. Here it comes. A swing and a bouncer, fouled third base side. Still a 2-2 count. With the bases loaded this year, the Indians batting .242. It's been a problem for them for a couple of years now for whatever reason. So the bases are loaded for the Indians. 2 down, Tribe down 1-0. Again, the 2-2. swing and a shot back up the middle into left center. That's a base hit. Ramirez scores. Lindor scores. Luplow to third. He's being waved home. Here's the throw to the plate. The bounce, the head first slide. Safe at the plate. And into second with a 3-run double is Domingo Santana. A hot shot on the ground, back up the middle. That got into the gap in left center. It was cut off, but with 2 down, everybody was motoring. Ramirez and Lindor were going to score easily, and Luplow coming all the way from first with a head first slide just beat the tag on a one-hop throw to the plate. And the Indians have a 3-1 lead. The Tigers are going to challenge the call at the plate. Regardless, the Indians will have the lead no matter what this call is, and certainly looked like Luplow was able to get the hand in before the tag. This manager's challenge is brought to you by U.S. Safety Gear. Call U.S. Safety Gear for your corporate apparel needs at 1-800-686-1459. U.S. Safety Gear, the preferred provider of game day apparel for the Cleveland Indians. Oh, what a huge hit for Domingo Santana. The kind of hit the Indians have been aching for all season long. And Santana coming through with a 2-out 3-run double to left center to put the Indians on top 3-1. Matthew Boyd will now be the pitcher of record, but in a negative category. He cannot win it, but he could lose it, as Boyd ends up giving up 2 runs on 5 hits and 5 1/3, struck out 6, walked 1. But Boyd really pitched well, and especially went to the changeup a bunch, and it was a good one. Whether you're shipping from Cleveland or through Cleveland, choose Global Transport, Northeast Ohio's preferred provider for transportation and logistics management. Headsets are off. The call is safe at the plate. It stands a 3-run double for Domingo Santana. And the double is his 3rd of the year, and the RBIs are 10, 11, and 12. And the Indians take advantage of 1 base hit and 2 walks to get 3 base runners, and Santana cleared them with that double to left center. 3-1 Indians, and that could make Tristan McKenzie a winner in his Major League debut if things hold up. Roberto Perez takes a breaking ball inside for ball 1. And now manager Sandy Alomar can use his bullpen the way he wants with the lead. Here is the 1-0 pitch, and it's over but low, ball 2, 2-0. Now, Domingo Santana's only hitting $172, but he has a dozen RBIs. So when he's had hits, they've been big. The pitch, a swing and a line drive, base hit in the left. Santana's being waved home. Up with it is Stewart. The throw to the plate, not nearly in time. Up the third base line, sliding in is Santana. Perez will go to second on the throw to the plate, and the Indians have struck for 4 runs with 2 men out. And Roberto Perez has his first RBI of the year, and Ron Gardenhire makes his 1,800th trip to the mound here in 2020, and wearing a mask is probably a good idea right now, because you know Gardy's not real happy. 4-1 Indians. This pitching change brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers.
Chad, I wish we could have brought our camper.
Honey, we can't tow it. Let's enjoy nature authentically.
We are never building this tent.
Whoa, a lot of people were in that car.
Did they just...
Santana lined out to right, and that's when Ron Gardenhire went to the bullpen, and tonight it imploded. John Schreiber came in, struck out Franmil Reyes for the second out, but then he walked Jordan Luplow. And then with 2 down, Domingo Santana delivered a 3-run double. Roberto Perez followed with an RBI single, went to second on the throw to the plate, and the Indians have a 4-1 lead here in the 6th inning. Perez had second, 2 down, and the 8th man to bat in the inning is Greg Allen. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Delino DeShields grounded out and flew out tonight, but then did not come out for defense in the top of the 6th, and we haven't heard anything as to why. Hopefully he's okay. Allen, switch hitter batting left-handed. The right-hander, Garcia, sets, fires, and it's cued foul, strike 1. Garcia is making appearance number 12. He's 2-0 with a save and a 1.74 ERA. Out of the University of Miami, he was a closer in college. Greg Allen, 0 for 8 with the Indians this season. Now the pitch. And Allen swings and tops one toward first, charged by Candelario, gloves, and gets to the bag ahead of Allen. And the inning is over, but the Indians score 4 times after 2 men were out, and they lead the Tigers 4-1. We go to the 7th on the Cleveland for the Cleveland Indians, and the Indians will take a 4-1 lead into this 7th inning. What an incredible Major League debut by Triston McKenzie. Wow. He was as good as advertised, and it would be hard to be a whole lot better than Triston McKenzie was tonight. In 6 innings of work, 80 pitches, Triston McKenzie gave up 1 run on 2 hits, struck out 10, and walked 1. The only run, a Willie Castro bomb to right in the 4th, but it didn't rattle him. He got Cabrera and Schoop to end the inning. And the composure and the electric stuff that Triston McKenzie had tonight, well, it's just another long line of incredible pitching performances by these young Indians pitchers that we keep seeing year in and year out. Miguel Cabrera against Nick Whitgren turns away from a pitch inside, ball 1. McKenzie did something that one other pitcher in the history of this franchise has ever done, and that is strike out 10 or more in his Major League debut. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Cabrera looked like he was late on that swing. Cabrera struck out twice. He's glad to see McKenzie out of there. McKenzie just overmatched the future Hall of Famer. Now the set. Whitgren's 1-1. Swung on, fouled off to the right. 1-2. Louis Tiant is the only other Indian in his Major League debut to strike out 10 or more. Louis did it in 1964 when he struck out 11 Yankees in the Bronx. Now the set, now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. High fastball got Cabrera for the 3rd time. He's down swinging. 1 down. That'll bring up Jonathan Schoop. You think of the great pitchers in Indians history. Herb Score, Bob Feller. I mean, the list goes on and on. C.C. Sabathia, Corey Kluber, whomever. Only Louis Tiant and Triston McKenzie have ever struck out 10 or more in their Major League debut for a Cleveland Indian. Here is Jonathan Schoop sending a fly ball to shallow center. Greg Allen comes in, and that is out number 2. And the thing about McKenzie tonight is that he made 80 pitches, 56 strikes, 24 balls, so better than a 2-to-1 ratio of strikes to balls. If he was nervous, he is the greatest actor since Marlon Brando.
Who does he think he is? Shane Bieber coming up here and throwing strikes like that?
Incredible. His pitch breakdown was 46 fastballs, 18 curveballs, 9 changeups, and 7 sliders. So he used all of his pitches. Jeimer Candelario batting left-handed. Takes, it's in there, called strike.
Boy, that's the recipe, though. If you pound the strike zone, you give yourself a chance, and with his kind of stuff, you give yourself a great chance.
I'm sure Ron Gardenhire's in that Tiger dugout going, they've got another great-looking pitcher. That pitch inside, 1-1. Well, we'll see now. Does Tristan McKenzie stay up here based on this outing? That is all yet to be determined. Clevenger and Plesac are eligible to come back up here starting Monday. Pitch swung on, grounded into the shift. Backhanded at second and shallow right. Hernandez with a spinning throw to get Candelario. Nice play.
Cleveland's News Radio on Twitter.
It's where it's at.
At WTAM 1100.
Cesar Hernandez, the only Indian that didn't bat in the sixth, leads off the bottom of the seventh. 4-1 Indians. He'll swing it left-handed. Right-hander Brian Garcia, second inning of work. Sets, fires, and Hernandez takes inside a ball. Indians are up for 4 runs after 2 men were out in the sixth. 3-run double by Domingo Santana. RBI single by Roberto Perez. Shift to the right side of the infield, the pitch, and it's low, ball 2-0. Cooper Tires, proud to be the partner of the Cleveland Indians. Go with the Coopers. Indians with a 4-1 lead. The set by the right-hander. The 2-0 pitch. And it's swung on and hammered toward the gap in right center. And this ball is going to hit high off the 9-foot wall. Flying into second base, standing with a double is Hernandez. So he has a 2-hit game. And that's his 10th double of the year. Easily the most on the Indians ball club. That'll bring to the plate Jose Ramirez. He walked last inning and scored. He's 0 for 2. So he's hitless in his last 21 at-bats. Minnesota leads the Indians by a half game. And they lead Kansas City 4-2 tonight in the 6th inning. Eddie Rosario has homered for the 7th time for the Twins. The Chicago White Sox, a half game in back of the Indians, are tied with the Cubs 2-2 in the second. Luis Robert, their fine rookie center fielders, hit his 7th home run. Jose Ramirez sees the Tigers playing 3 on the right side of the infield. Garcia checks second, and the pitch swung on, lined into right. That's a base hit. Hernandez had to make sure it wasn't caught. He'll get to third and stop there. And Jose Ramirez has the Indians threatening, and that breaks an 0 for 21 skid with a line drive single to right. And now Frankie Lindor to the plate, batting left-handed. He's doubled and singled twice tonight. The Angels beat Oakland today 4-3. Oakland's Matt Chapman hitting his 9th home run. Oakland has a 3.5 game lead in the West over Houston. Toronto, Tampa 1-1 ball game as they've played 7. Boston with a 3-1 lead on Baltimore in the 6th. Get you updated on the National League. Indians at the corners, infield back in a shift, but double play depth. The throw over to first, and Ramirez back standing. Pittsburgh hammered Milwaukee again today. 12-5 Pirates. Boy, we didn't see that from Pittsburgh. Doubleheader in D.C. Washington beat Miami 5-4 in the nightcap. Miami leads 3-1. Now the set and the pitch. Lindor takes off the outside edge for ball 1. Tigers got a homer from Willie Castro to right in the 4th. That's all they got off Tristan McKenzie tonight. His major league debut was a beauty. 6 innings, he gave up a run on 2 hits and struck out 10. Now the 1-0 pitch. Lindor lines it to the second baseman, caught by Scope, then he drops it on purpose, but it's an out. Ramirez dove back to first to make sure he wasn't doubled up. So Lindor with another good at bat. A line drive out to the second baseman. 1 down. Runners stay at first and third, and Carlos Santana 0 for 3 will bat left-handed. So Tristan McKenzie in line to win his first major league game in his major league debut. and Ron Gart. 4-1, the Indians have the lead. Funkhauser's 8th appearance. He's 0-1 with an 8.38 ERA. Ryan Garcia went 2/3 of an inning, giving up 2 hits. He's responsible for Hernandez at third and Ramirez at first. Carlos Santana will swing it from the left side. Funkhauser, mid-90s fastball, sinker slider change. Out of the University of Louisville, 4th round pick 4 years ago. So the Tigers got Funkhauser in the 4th round 4 years ago. The Indians got Shane Bieber. Tigers stay in that shift, 3 on the right side of the infield. Tiger infielders part way in, but they could certainly turn 2 if the ball's hit hard enough right at them. They're not in at the cut of the grass. The pitch swung on, lifted high in the air to deep enough left to get a run home. Stewart's back to make the catch. Tagging and scoring is Hernandez. Throw comes into second. Tribe on top 5-1. And Carlos Santana with a sac fly going the opposite way. His 13th RBI and a good at-bat for Santana. Didn't try to do too much. Went with a pitch. Got that run in. And it's 5-1 Indians here in the 7th. With 2 down, Ramirez at first. And Franmil Reyes, the hitter, 1 for 3 with a bloop single, has struck out twice. Right-hander against right-hander. Reyes digging in. Funkhauser throw to first. Backstanding Ramirez. Ramirez leads the Indians. 5 steals in as many tries. He might take off here. Get into scoring position. 5-1 Cleveland, 7th inning. Although Austin Romine, a tremendous throwing catcher. Funkhauser from the first base side of the rubber delivers. And Reyes bangs one in the hole and into left, a base hit. 3rd hit of the night in this 7th inning for the Indians. Stopping at second is Ramirez. And Reyes with a 2-hit night is at first. And Jordan Luplow is the batter, 0 for 2 with a walk. Indians at first and second with 2 down in the 7th. And the Indians on top 5-1. Luplow 2 for 30 this year, but he got a big walk last inning with 2 down to load the bases, and then Domingo Santana followed with a 3-run double to left center. Now the Tigers put 3 between second and third on the dirt. Outfield around toward left, the pitch. Luplow cues one off the end of the bat to the first baseman. Candelario flips to Funkhauser to retire Luplow. But the Indians get a big insurance run. James Karinchak. And the music blares from the movie Major League. Wild Thing. Well, he wears the same number. James Karinchak. Someday we'll probably get a chance to meet Charlie Sheen. James Karinchak with a mid-90s fastball and that hammer of a curveball. Takes over with the Tribe up 5-1 in the 8th. Jacoby Jones, the batter. Karinchak dealing. And it's in there, a strike at 95. Nick Whitgren with another 1-2-3 inning. Boy, this Indians bullpen is not getting enough credit for how darn good they've been this year. Now the set, now the 0-1. And it's outside 1-1. The Indians' rotation's been the best in baseball this year. But the reason the Indians lead the major leagues in earned run average is also because the bullpen has been lights out. Nick Whitgren did his thing again, and he's simply one of the best setup guys in the American League. Now Karinchak is really evolving as the pitch is low, 2-1. Karinchak with a .66 ERA in 12 outings. And again, these are Little League numbers. 26 strikeouts in 13 innings. The opposition is hitting .095. He's given up 4 base hits all year. Righty-righty matchup. The set, the 2-1, and a curve is high, 3-1. Well, the stage was set by Tristan McKenzie, certainly stating his case to be in the rotation when the Indians continue play next week. Here's the set. Here's the 3-1 pitch. A swing and a high fly ball to right, not deep. Domingo Santana drifting back a couple of steps. Two-handed grab, and Jacoby Jones is out number 1. Now, McKenzie's next outing would be on Thursday. That happens to be an off day. So what the Indians decide to do with McKenzie, with Mike Clevenger, with Zach Plesac, will make for one of the more intriguing weeks. There is Kristen Stewart 0 for 2. Shift to the right, and a swing and a foul tip, strike 1. But Tristan McKenzie only made 80 pitches in 6 innings in his major league debut. A 2-to-1 strike-to-ball ratio. Second Indian to ever strike out 10 or more in his major league debut, joining Louis Tiant in 64. The 0-1 pitch, and it's a called strike 0-2. I'll bet you Tristan McKenzie knows who Louis Tiant is, too. He's a bright kid who's very aware.
The first 4 years he grew up in Brooklyn, and he said he started learning about baseball at the age of 4, and then it really kicked in when his family moved to Florida when he was 5.
Now the set, now the 0-2 pitch, and it swung on and missed. High heat overmatched Kristen Stewart. 12 strikeouts by Indians pitching tonight. Karinchak with his first. Austin Romine with 2 strikeouts coming to the plate. This is going to be fascinating, Rosie, because, again, with Clevenger and Plesac, we don't want to keep dwelling on this. You know, this has got to be resolved here soon. And, you know, they're great guys who made a big mistake and compounded it. But, gosh, you don't just forget about them, and the Indians won't do it. That pitch swung on and missed. They're too valuable. They mean too much to this club. Obviously, there's the chemistry and everything to be dealt with, and that will all be taken into consideration. But there probably have to be some resolutions, I would think, next week. Here's the 0-1 pitch, outside a ball, 1-1.
Wait a minute. Look, we've seen it when they're in the rotation. It takes the rotation to another level,
yeah.
Which it's already very, very good. And when they're in it, it's better. But obviously, there's other things going on too.
Now the set, now the 1-1 pitch. Tribe up 5-1. It's low, 2-1. So we shall see. Of course, the trading deadline is a week from Monday. Who knows how much activity there will be in Major League Baseball with the trading deadline, just because of the circumstances and the fact that 16 teams make the playoffs this year. Now the set. Now the 2-1 pitch. And it's a check swing, foul tip off the bat into the catcher's mitt, 2-2. You talk to the Tigers, and they're like, hey, look, we're 10-14. We're in this thing. And pretty much everybody feels that way, maybe outside of Boston, the Angels, Seattle. Karinchak dealing. The pitch waved at. I mean, to tell you, folks, this is just incredible how Karinchak is made with a 5-1 lead. Kyle Funkhauser. Second inning of work. Bottom third of the order. Domingo Santana with tonight's biggest hit takes the high heat. Indians were trailing 1-0 in the 6th. They had bases loaded, 2 down. And Santana with 2 strikes delivered a 3-run double to left center. He takes the strike to even the count. Roberto Perez added an RBI single in the 6th. And then Carlos Santana, the sac fly in the 7th. Now the 1-1. Checked on a pitch low and away, 2-1. Tristan McKenzie with just an awesome Major League debut. And then the lights-out bullpen work of Nick Whitgren and James Karinchak, keeping the Tigers to 2 hits. There's a called strike, 2-2. Tigers' only run was Willie Castro's homer to right in the 4th. Now the wind and pitch. Down and away, 3-2. By the way, before when we gave you the scores, I forgot to tell you, the scores were brought to you by Cohen & Company. They've got offices throughout Northeast Ohio. Funkhauser, the payoff. Swung on, hammered to deep right field. Back and towards the corner is Reyes, and he'll make the over-the-shoulder catch. Good swing by Santana, out number 1. Cohen & Company has offices throughout Northeast Ohio. Cohen & Company CPAs and consultants. They help private businesses find opportunities to stay strong. Learn more at cohencpa.com/baseball. The Indians with a 5-1 lead on the Tigers. Roberto Perez, 1 for 3, a 2-out RBI single in the 4-run 6th. The pitch to him, and it's a fastball strike at 95 miles per hour. Tigers have some bullpen arms that light up the radar gun. Now the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, Tapper by the mound, but the second baseman backing up into the outfield is Scope. Backhands it, throws out Perez. He knew who was running, so he had plenty of time. 2 down and Greg Allen. Delino DeShields left this ballgame with tightness in his hip. He was 0 for 2. Allen's 0 for 1. See your Northern Ohio Buick dealers for attractive offers, including the all-new Buick Encore GX. And our good buddy Brian Motze, who does a phenomenal job keeping us on the air, drives a Buick.
Why wouldn't he?
And so he seconds what we just said about see your Buick dealers. The pitch, bunted back, foul, a strike. What are you driving, Brian? He's driving the Encore GX. If it's good enough for Brian, it's good enough for all of Northeast Ohio. Now the wind, the pitch. Greg Allen takes. It's a tad low, 1-1. The next delivery, swung on, fouled into the seats behind the plate. 1-2 the count on Allen. I love how you can go to YouTube and you see these reviews on cars, and the guy doing the review is driving the car and looking into the phone or camera. Pitch outside, 2-2. You're like, huh? And they're always testing out the acceleration. They're on a highway.
They're going to test out the bumper on one of those.
The 2-2 swung on, grounded foul off to the right.
How do those airbags work?
It's like, doesn't seem to be a real safe way of making a YouTube video, but what do I know? 5-1 Indians. We're in the 8th, 2 outs, nobody on. Now the 2-2. Swung on and a rocket to right, but on the line, Reyes moving over, dives, can't make the catch near the line, smothers it, throws from his knees towards second, and holds Allen to a single. And Greg Allen has his first base hit of the year in his 10th at bat. He smoked that ball. Reyes kind of looked like he was running in place out there. And Dove made a great effort, but just couldn't quite make the catch on the stretch and dive toward the line. So Greg Allen's aboard, and Cesar Hernandez, the Indians' leadoff hitter, will swing it left-handed. A double and a single, 2 for 4. The Indians have banged out 11 hits tonight. Hernandez has 2. Ramirez has 1. Lindor has 3. Reyes has 2. Santana has 1. Perez has 1, and Allen now has 1. First pitch missing, ball 1. 5-1, the Indians bouncing back after that stunning setback last night when they had a 5-0 lead. Shift to the right side of the infield for Hernandez. Funkhauser's pitch. And it's a little wide, 2-0. Everstream is the business-only fiber network. If your business demands a high bandwidth, low latency network, time to forget the big telecom status quo. Everstream, faster fiber, better business, everstream.net. Well, since I don't have a Twitter account, my kids always send me stuff from Twitter.
Uh-oh.
Yep, here's something from Bradley. Nolan Jones was on the top level of the parking garage watching his buddy's debut tonight. Runner goes, pitch in there, a strike, throw to second, head first slide, and a steal for Greg Allen. Nolan Jones, who's one of the Indians' top prospects, a position player, and he was on the top level of the parking garage, and in that one little corner of that garage, you can see beyond the scoreboard and into the ballpark. It's not a great view, but that's as close as Nolan Jones could get to getting into the ballpark to watch his good friend Tristan McKenzie's Major League debut tonight. That's pretty neat. The pitch swung on and a shot to left. That's a base hit. Allen will be waved home. Stewart winds up, throws to home. Throw cut off. Scoring is Allen. Run down between first and second. Ball is flipped at second and just kind of giving up and being tagged out as Cesar Hernandez. But he gets his third hit. An RBI single for Cesar Hernandez. The Indians now lead at 6-1. And I think that is really neat that a sidewinding right-hander worked last night, and he inherits a 6-1 lead here in the ninth. For Simber, appearance number 8, no decisions, a 1.35 ERA, sinker, four-seamer, slider. Isaac Paredes, the number 9 hitter, and rookie third baseman. He has struck out twice tonight. He hits in the back of the box as open a stance as you can get. Takes up and in a ball. Now, his first Major League homer last night was huge, a grand slam. But his other 5 at-bats, he has struck out in this series. His front foot almost out of the left side of the batter's box. The 1-0 is in there, slider strike. James Karinchak, another dominating inning of relief work with a couple of strikeouts. He and Nick Whitgren facing 6 batters tonight, striking out 3. 6 up, 6 down. The pitch, and it's swung on a weak chopper to third. Charged by Ramirez. Gloves from the grass, throws on the run to get his counterpart. 1 down. The story tonight, Tristan McKenzie in his Major League debut, becoming the second Indians pitcher in franchise history to strike out 10 or more in his Major League debut, the other being Louis Tiant in 1964. And he was brilliant tonight, going 6 innings, striking out 10. He gave up a run on 2 hits. He walked only 1. Only made 80 pitches. Top of the order and a backdoor slider to Victor Reyes for strike 1. He's 0 for 3. Boy, this Indians pitching staff is something else, and the depth in this organization is the envy of 29 other Major League teams. The pitch fisted back foul, 0-2 the count.
I was just hearing Carl Willis talk about it earlier this week. I mean, it was not an easy decision to decide who to start tonight, which makes you really feel good about the others in contention.
Well, they like Scott Moss a lot, too, I'd say down there. I mean, he's east of here. The pitch swung on, hit pretty well toward the corner and left, and it'll get down and bounce into the corner. And it'll be a double the opposite way for Victor Reyes, his third. Moss is another guy to keep your eye on. He came in the Trevor Bauer trade last year, and I don't know that he's on as many people's radar. And when I say people, I'm talking about fans of the Indians. But, boy, that's a guy that the Indians think is going to really help this club, as well as Logan Allen.
We saw Moss a couple of times in the summer camp, the inter squads, and there's something there for sure. A lefty with some pretty good stuff.
Well, Tito has said it time and time again. When you think you have enough pitching, go get more. It's what separates the Indians from pretty much every organization. Here's the number 2 hitter, Willie Castro, waves at the offering, strike one. He hit a home run 445 feet to right in the 4th. That's the only run of the game for the Tigers, who only have 3 hits. Cleveland 6 runs, 12 hits. Detroit 1 run, 3 hits. We're in the 9th. Simber's pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider in, and the count 0-2. Well, again, it'll be intriguing to see what's next for Tristan McKenzie and the Indians. It'll be fun tomorrow, too. Carlos Carrasco for the Indians, but we'll see one of the top Tiger prospects. Tarek Skubal will make his second Major League start. He's another guy that's on a pitch count. He'll maybe go 3-4 innings at most tomorrow. The pitch, swung on, popped him up. Right side of the infield. And the second baseman, Hernandez, on the dirt, retires Castro for out number 2. And here's Miguel Cabrera. I wonder if anyone will ask Ron Gardenhire tonight, Gardy, you have now lost 21 out of your last 22 to the Indians. That poor guy. All he heard was, you've lost 18 in a row, 19 in a row, 20 in a row.
And you know what you'll hear after that? Him getting up and saying, I'll see you tomorrow.
I think you're right. Here's Miguel Cabrera. 3 strikeouts tonight. It's just kind of sad to see what Cabrera's become. A wave at a slider. He's got to cheat on the fastball now, so that makes him vulnerable to the breaking ball and the off speed. But this guy, folks, was at one time maybe the greatest right-handed hitter anyone's ever seen. He'll be a Hall of Famer. Now the 0-1. Swung on, rolled to third. Easy play for Ramirez. Sets, throws, ball game. And Tristan McKenzie is a winner in his Major League debut as the Indians have come back to beat the Detroit Tigers by a final score